All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Arakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, and blessings unto you men and women out there who have changed your lives and your families' lives towards righteousness, that you may earn your salvation from Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Shalom unto you. All right, I'm your brother Shaquat from Las Vegas Church. Just want to go into this movie. Every once in a while I like to go over these movies and these spiritual movies and shed light on them and kind of give my perspective on them. For some of you that may not have seen it or may have seen it and didn't see it from the angle that I may have seen it. And there's plenty of different interpretations of this thing, but basically I'm gonna give the perspective of this movie, the knowing, in biblical prophecy, because that's, you know, things that the movie pertains to. All right. So this is the movie here featuring Nicolas Cage. I believe it was, let me see. So I'll go into what it's about and everything from 2009. Yep. It says, let me go to that. It says 50 years after it was buried in a time capsule, a schoolgirl's cryptic document falls into the hands of Caleb Koister, the son of Professor John Koistler, who is Nicolas Cage in the movie, who he portrays. John figures out that the encoded message accurately lists every major disaster from the past 5 decades and predicts 3 future calamities. Okay? 1, a global cataclysm. Okay, so you can see there, these major events happening. This is what it's talking about. It's actually talking about prophecy. It prophesied the last 50 years, and it was hidden in a time capsule. And it was funny, a few scriptures coming to mind already. Says when, matter of fact, I'll get that one first. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 15, starting with the first verse. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. And in the movie, that's what it was. These number codes were written in paper, and they came to pass, just like the prophecies of the Bible. Okay, these things are going to come to pass, and then Ezekiel the 33rd chapter says, "And lo, it will come, yet shall they know a prophet have been among them." Okay, these things are going to come to pass as well. So the movie kind of portrays a cataclysmic event that's coming, these different events happening, and prophecies come to pass, the tokens. All right, matter of fact, I'll go over this right quick. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9, verse 1. It says, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And that's what he did in the movie. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, so let me go back and show you some images. Then I'll read a little more about it. Well, that was kind of something there. But this was him actually measuring the time diligently. Okay. This actually showed him measuring the time diligently, putting 2 and 2 together, doing, studying to show himself approved, which is what we have to do, okay? We have to study to show ourselves approved unto Heavenly Father, a workman that needed not to be ashamed. Hey, it takes diligence to put these numbers together. And something that I, undertone of what I, see in the movie was, he was doing math. He was figuring out the numbers, so it was math. And, math comes from the Hebrew word amoth, which means truth. So he figured the truth out by doing, by doing the equations. That's what this is like, okay? Let's see. The paper. It said written in paper. Let's see. Okay. These were the papers, that the little girl wrote on and that they put in a time capsule. And when I let me go back to that. When I heard the time capsule part, it gave me to a certain scripture, which let me read this and then I'll get it. Going back, it said John figures out that the encoded message accurately lists every major disaster from the past 5 decades and predicts 3 future calamities, one of global cataclysm. When his warnings fall on deaf ears, John enlists the help of the prophetic author's daughter and granddaughter to try to avert the ultimate disaster. Okay? Yeah. So, let me go to this other scripture here. Okay, when it said put in a time capsule, this is what it brought me to mind. Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. And it was 50 years later in the movie. Okay, even though this Bible has prophecies, from the time of, basically from Genesis that are going to play out, or the books of Moses that play out all the way into modern times today, thousands of years later. Okay, so then but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Okay. Yep. Verse 8. Let me see. Yeah, 8 was what I wanted. It says, and I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O Lord, my power, Yahweh, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. Okay? He sealed the books away. He sealed the understanding away. They put it in a time capsule. And when the time for it to be opened up was come, it was right on time for the last 3 prophecies to be fulfilled. And the final one was a cataclysmic event. All right? Go to this right. Okay, it's Isaiah 29:11. And the vision of all has become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed. Because the difference with this Bible is it's been sealed away like it was in a time capsule. But the Bible's been on, nightstands and newsstands and in church pews and so on and so forth. Okay? But the understanding had been sealed away. Okay? It says, which men deliver to one that is learned, to the scholarly, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed. I don't fully understand it. But yeah, you let Esau, he acts like he understands it. Okay? But he don't want to put it out there. What he does comprehend, he doesn't want to put it out there. Because what if an Israelite hears it and they wake up? Well, it's happened anyway through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Reading on, verse 12 says, And the book is delivered unto him that is not learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned. Okay, so they can't open the book, man. And everybody was struggling to figure it out. And he did diligent searches in there to finally get it. Okay. Okay, and there was matter of fact, there was another scene in the movie. Yeah, look, it says angels. Right there, it says angels. All right. In here. Okay. And I'm going to show you, matter of fact, still here in Daniel 12. It says, At that time, Michael shall stand up, that great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. Michael. the archangel. He was an angel. Okay? And there should be a time of trouble such as never, cataclysmic trouble, man. Okay? It says, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time shall thy people be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And that theme was within the movie. Okay, that theme was in the movie. Particularly this scene here. Or maybe it's not this direct scene, but this, when how they kept revealing themselves unto the children in the movie, man. Unto the newborn babes is what came to mind. I'll go to that. Okay, so we got Matthew 11 and 25. It says, and at that time Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee. And Yahushua is who the people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, okay? That's who you people have been calling. There was no letter J. You know, it's the way you say it in the Paleo Hebrew, okay? Anyway, it says, some people call it the Phoenician. Anyway, it says, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise. Okay, the scholars in the movie couldn't break it down. Okay, and prudent, the wise and prudent, and have revealed them unto babes. Okay, those that are more insignificant, those are younger in the spirit, and the analogy played out with the children in the movie. Okay, those angels, if you will, or aliens or whatever, same thing, continue to reveal themselves unto the children. Okay, they kept showing up and talking with them. They always would see a son out there in the woods talking to the kid, talking to a strange man, and the man had rocks and all of that. Okay, these black rocks, and so forth. Okay, and it's all spiritual where you put it together. Okay, now I'm not saying that this is what their interpretation or even another brother's interpretation is. This is what I got out of the movie, looking at it with a spiritual lens. Okay. Okay, this is Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. Okay. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew, the destruction, the cataclysmic event, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. Okay. Let's see. No, we won't go into that part. Because we're building the temple over. And, King David, the Bayat Dawadah, the house of David. We're building all of these things spiritually. Okay, we're rebuilding the temple. Okay, and we're starting with the chief cornerstone. Okay. Even, matter of fact, let's see if I can get into that right quick. Okay, so another rock analogy in the movie, right? I'll go to Matthew 16, and I start at verse 15. It says, he saith unto them, but whom say ye that I am? Because Yahushua asked his disciples, who do some say that I, the Son of Man, am? Okay, they went to all, I'll read it in 14. That was 13. And 14 says, and they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the anointed, the Son of the living power, the Son of God, the living God. Okay, it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock will I build my church. Okay? And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Okay? Because we're building this church upon the rock, but I'm going to show you something a little more interesting. Okay, now we're in the blue letter. Let's see what it say. Simon Peter Petros, G4074. Petros. The word Peter. Look. Apparently a primary word, a piece of rock, as a name Petrus, and Apostle Peter, rock. Okay, Peter, a rock or a stone. One of the 12 disciples of Yahushua. Okay? And Peter was the head of the church, man. Okay? All right? So the rock symbolism was heavy in the movie, you know. Every time he talked to the kids, you know, the angels would talk to the kids. They come down from the chariot. They hop out and talk to the kids and whatnot. And they leave a rock, or there'd be rocks around. Let me see. Okay, so let's show you. In one scene, they show these rocks, you know, floating and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Yep, and that bright light, we should know what that is. Okay. Oh, the chariot over there. And let me see if I can get the final scene. Yeah, one of the images was airplanes falling out the sky. It was one of those. Yeah, spoiler alert. There was a rock right there, a black rock. They said they got the meaning. Let's see. The black stones came from the place where the ship was stationed. You can see them clearly as the ship takes off. Black stones just meant that the aliens or the angels were nearby or had been there, etc. They just serve as a sign of the aliens' presence. Yeah, if you take it for the natural eye. But with the spiritual eye, man, it goes right into the rock, man, of the elect being right there. Okay? Because the children in the movie, let me go back real quick. If I can find this scene here. Okay? Spoiler alert. The children made it. Okay? They got beamed up and they escaped the judgment. Okay? Which the elect are those rocks with the chief cornerstone. Okay? Which is the Yahushua, that chief cornerstone. And they were beamed up and they were saved. Okay? So they got to go to the kingdom of heaven. All right? The scriptures escaping me. Let me see. I'll close with this one. This is Revelation 7. It says, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth. That's the 4 directions, north, south, east, west. Okay, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Okay, and that wind is the destruction, is a destroying wind. Okay. Okay, Jeremiah 51:1, it says, thus saith the Lord power Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and the Babylon is America. Okay, the virgin daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great. Okay, and the movie took place mainly in America. It says, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Okay? And that's the missiles, man. Okay, that's the missiles. and against him that lifteth up in the Brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Okay, all the armies, man. Okay, everything that's going on in America is going to be destroyed and turned into that lake of fire. All right, a destroying wind. Okay, hold back the destructive winds. Okay, and that was a scene in the movie. See if I can show that scene. Okay, so I'll leave it with this. Okay, you see what these images are about. You see the groups of people right there. You see the destruction behind the city. Okay, you see the destroying wind on the middle and bottom right. Okay, and these are actual scenes. I'm not gonna play them. You know, go Google and look on YouTube or whatever. Check the movie out. Better yet, just check the movie out. All right. Check the movie out. Look, that's New York. Bottom left. Okay, so it shows you that they're talking about Babylon. It's America. These people know. These directors know. Okay. So I think I'll end it there. You know, it's a really good movie. It's worth watching. You know, if you check it out with the spiritual eye. Decent action in it. You know, nothing too martial arts or anything, but just the scenes of watching the airplane fall out the sky, of seeing the destroying wind hit, but watching these things and considering the biblical prophecies. Okay, and I'm sure there's more throughout the movies. I'm sure, you know, different brothers and whomever may that knows certain other parts or knows other scriptures that they pulled out from it. You know, leave it in the description box or something. You know, if you get this video. Lord willing, this was edifying. I will give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Arakakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto you, like to the next one, Shalom.